Hello, today we're going to continue on and start looking at solving multi-step inequalities with variables on one side and then graphing the solutions. And then in the next lesson, we'll actually look at the variables on both sides. Remember that this is similar to the last unit, so the process is the same. The big difference is when you flip the sign. So don't forget, if you multiply or divide the variable by a negative, you must flip the inequality symbol. There are a few steps here. Always distribute through your parentheses first, combine the like terms on the left, combine the like terms on the right, and then we're going to collect them to one side, which we won't do in this section because they're only one side. Also refresher from 2.1 and 2.2, open dot if it's less than or greater than, and close dot if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Okay, so all of that should be review as far as the process goes and as far as the graphing goes, so let's get into it. Okay, we are actually going to do two problems together and then let you try one on your own. So it's a fairly quick lesson today, as long as you're comfortable with the process for solving equations. So we are going to go ahead and draw our line. And we are going to solve this by simplifying first. So you have a couple options here. And what we showed you with your equations is if you see parentheses, we're going to distribute through our parentheses. So we're going to do negative 7 times n, which gives us negative 7n, and then negative 7 times negative 6, which gives us a positive 42. Because I'm not solving the equation yet, I don't have to worry about flipping my symbol. I'm just going to bring it down and bring down my 84. Once we get to this point, this is the same as what we did in the last lesson. We can't do anything with that negative 7 by the end yet until we cancel the 42. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 42 from both sides so that these cancel and bring down our negative 7n. And since we didn't multiply or divide, bring our sign down. And then 84 minus 42 is 42. The last step we need to do to get n by itself, because they're right next to each other, is divide by negative 7 on both sides. So the left side cancels, and the right side gives me negative 6. And then we're going to check to see if we multiplied or divided the variable by a negative number, which we did. We divided by negative 7. So since we divided by a negative, we're going to flip our sign over. So we have n is less than or equal to negative 6. We're going to go ahead and graph that on the number line. And I apologize, I should have given you more room here. But we're going to go ahead and do 6, 8, 10, 12, we'll do 4, and 2 over here. This will be a closed dot because it has an equal to sign, and we will shade to, shade to the left. My goodness, I'm struggling here. Shade to the left because it is a less than sign. We flipped it. Got ahead of myself. And that is a really common mistake as forgetting to flip the inequality sign and then shading in the wrong direction. Let's do one more. And then again, you can try one on your own. Starting with my line through my inequality symbol. Eliminate the parentheses first. So the left side is going to come straight down, as is the sign. We are going to distribute negative 8 times n and negative 8 times negative 7. So negative 8 times n is negative 8n. Negative 8 times negative 7 is positive 56. And then that minus 7 is just going to come down because we don't have that in parentheses. So we're not going to actually multiply that one. The next step before we start to solve, and some of you do this a little differently, but what we typically do is we combine our like terms. So you'll notice now we have 56 minus 7. I can type that right in my calculator. 56 minus 7 actually gives me a positive 49. Now we're down to a two-step equation. That we need to solve. We cannot cancel this yet, the negative 8, because we need to go ahead and subtract 49 from both sides. So if we take 113 minus 49, we get 64. And then if we divide by -8 on both sides, we get -8, and we have n, but we did just divide by a negative number with our variable. So we need to remember to flip our inequality sign. And then I also am going to flip all of this over again because it's easier for me to graph if my n comes first and my -8 comes second. So when I do that, I have to flip my sign over too. So I'm going to do -8, -6, -4, -10, and -12. We do have a closed dot because it has an equal to sign. Okay, it's greater than or equal to. And then now that the variable is first, it's easy to see that we are going to move that or shade that to the right. Go ahead and hit pause, try this problem, and then come back to check your work and your solution. Okay, so once you finish, you should get x is less than -1. If you got x is greater than -1, it is because you forgot to flip your inequalities. That's it for 2.3. If you have any questions, let us know. If not, go ahead and get to work on the practice, and we will move on in the next lesson. Have a great day.